The equity markets, we seemed rather undeterred by the way the rupee really fell, and so we did manage to recover marginally from the low point of the day, but 5900, that continued to remain a hurdle. So it was 5878 by the day's close and absolutely flat for the Sensex. You had the mid caps and the small cap index. Well, that certainly underperformed the broader markets by a great degree. Although we recovered from the low point of the day, it was still a cut of close to 1% for the broader markets. It was the IT pack all the way which really led on account of the way the rupee panned out. So technology and IT as a basket were really our saviors in today's session. On the downside, it was real estate as well as consumer durables which took quite a knock. HDFC, despite the way the bank Nifty panned out, did manage to remain rather resilient in the session. Ultratech Cement held up, as did something like an NTPC, and Infosys was also up and about. It was really the entire basket that did well. So after that, a TCS, you also had something like an HCL Technologies as well as a Hexaware. Although we did speak to the management of Infosys, who said that given the kind of volatility that we're seeing, it's not going to be a major positive when it comes to the margins of some of these companies. Aviation as a basket, well, that performed really badly. Take a look at a Jet Airways. Can't really pinpoint the reason as to why it saw a crack. Of course, tomorrow will be the FIPB nod and the meeting for the Jet Etihad deal. But a day ahead of that, an 11% crackdown. Kingfisher Airlines, of course, that counter continues to remain under pressure as the meeting with the employees, that remained inconclusive. And something like a SpiceJet also, the rub-off effect really played out on that counter. MCX, that counter was pretty active as the debt segment of MCX will be going live from today, and that really did well for the company. You had something like an Opto Circuits. We'll take a look as to how that counter has been hammered, not just in today's session where it hit its 52-week low, but it's been a knockdown of close to 56% over the last 1 month. We spoke to the management who said that there are working capital issues. They will be sorted out, but no margin calls being triggered. Promoters have not pledged or sold any shares. PVR as well as Cinemax, those two counters need to be brought up on your screen. They did pretty well today, particularly Cinemax, as the board okayed the merger of Cinemax India, in fact, with Cine Hospitality, which is a wholly owned subsidiary. We understand that Axis Capital has been appointed to advise Cinemax in the merger ratio. Apart from that, in fact, you did have a State Bank of Mysore which was active. It has issued 12 lakh shares under the IPP at a price of 545 rupees per share, raising nearly 66 crores via the sale of investors. On the downside, BHEL saw a slump. You had Jindal Steel and Power, which was pretty muted. Something like a BPCL as well as IDFC didn't perform well in the session.